class. Today happens to be Thursday, April the 6th. Anybody birthday today? Just checking. I would have said happy birthday to you. Here it goes. What's that first one they're doing? Just as a quick one. Let's see here. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, let's try it this way. This is standard 3. Again, some of you now are so good at it, I don't remember what numbers I use. Hopefully these aren't the same numbers. Um, Initially, my goal for you would be to do it from memory if you have the power to. Where are you writing this? You're writing this. There's some places you could write it. You could write it on your notebook paper, which would be best. But if that needs to be filled up, some people. Let me borrow yours for just a second. Some people. Some kind of use part of the front. They may use some of this one for that. But again, notebook paper. If you run out of notebook paper altogether, I do have some blank one. Am I recording that? Once you answer one as much as you want to answer that second one, don't. There are at least 4 or 5 questions that are on the floor. So there we go. Someone say, what's the first thing we're going to do in this problem? That's going to be coming up. But we got to do one other thing first. Yes. All right. So we got 2 answers kind of going there. But again, it may have been understood. Let's see. That 60 goes in there. Some people, I think, messed up on something, but they had all their steps. I was able to go, I put a question mark right at the very end. That way, they just fix the last part when it's their turn. Now, what's the next thing we're going to do? All right. Someone different, if you already answered, you're out the list. What's the 60 divided by 120 equal, please? 5, I heard it. You're out. For those who weren't here, this is kind of an opportunity for you to kind of see it in action, but clearly this review thing goes way so fast. You're like, okay. Here comes next question. When there is no base written on the log, there's a base there. Someone say who has an answer. Say what that base is, please. 10 it is. You 2 or 3 are out of the running now. All right. And now it's time to do this last piece. I'm going to, someone different who hasn't answered. There's a phrase that you say to turn this into the problem. I heard it there. Base and switch. I'm right over here. I hope there is someone in this room who's like, come on. Like inside their head, they're like, I know this. Give me something we don't know. Where this is like so easy because again, at one point it wasn't. At one point you had this, and you were like, log, and is there a 1, 0, 25? Yeah. At one point, so you were there. Now you're just like whatever. And I just want you to feel that education learning is just a little memory thing. One minute you don't know it, then you know it. Some of you know how to spell your names. In kinder, I don't think, is it kinder? Is it first? Is pre-K? Sometimes you don't know how to spell it. Yeah. Sometimes you're like my son when you, instead of writing the letter I, go from top to bottom, you go up. J goes up. It's like, dude, what are you writing? The E is backwards, and then 1 minute you know it. So what I want you to feel is, for those who maybe either A, hate school, for other reasons I get it, for other reasons hate school, but for the learning part of it, eventually it's going to happen. Eventually you're going to know whatever the thing is. And I want you to feel good when you do because it makes you smarter than other people, and that's what we want in life, to be better than somebody else. Hey, somebody say out loud who hasn't answered. 10, now this one I actually want. I do want to come around and look at this. You're going to do 10 raised to the 0.5 power. Someone says the answer, but I want to see it on your calculator. Say it again? 3.16. All right, I heard 3.16. Who put that weird X? I mean, wouldn't it be me? Why would I write that? All right, final answer, there it is. What does he come around to see on your calculators? He's not check mark, he's just going to click, click, S1, when you write the letter S, it is true in the world of math. We do put those little tick marks on it to say that it's not a 5. S1, tick, where are you? Sure, we'll do this guy. What did I do the other class? Did I do? Can't remember the numbers that I did, but I'll try it this way. Maybe it was. We'll see. 260, 26. Uh-oh. Wrong one. Here it comes. 2, 6, I want it all. It is I equals 10 raised to the dB over 10. 10 raised to a fraction that fractions dB over 10. I think the last class, what did I do? Did I do? Can't remember what I did, but this time I'll do 10,000. See what you can do on there. Someone who, let's see, someone who has an answer that when everyone else get back in the pool. What's the first thing we're going to do on this problem? You have an answer. Yeah, I know the people who've answered, like, someone who has an answer. What's the first thing I'm going to do on this problem? Throw that in, grab the pool. I'm going to put it in green so it stands out. I think the reason they do that is just to make some of the problems going on. Some people went for it. They put in some crazy numbers over here. Like, what? But again, they tell you what it is. And their problems, they do make them longer. This I problem, I think, is a big paragraph on standard one. So when you look at the big paragraph, you're like, what do you want me to do? But for our purposes, when you see the big paragraph, they have to give you an equation. And at some point, they'll give you what the other guy is. Again, I think most of you here, you're A-OK on this one, so you don't need it. So, but again, I'm looking out for the underdog, because you know, on a lot of those who became famous TV programs, it wasn't always the brightest one. It was like one nobody thought would make it or whatever, or that student. All right, here we go. Let's just do the work. Here we go. 10,000. Someone different, and I think we're running out of people who haven't said anything yet, but I'll try one more person. Anybody know what we're going to do next? I heard some of the 10, I heard the log, but I guess everyone has already done something. So I'll say it. We're doing this divide thing. Oh yeah, I think I saw some weird stuff on somebody's paper. They did this, but they didn't put something. What is it that we need? Yeah, I felt bad. I had to put a question mark with a circle on it. I didn't want to put an X, just question mark like it. Yeah, right, yeah. Write that back on everybody's paper. No, because again, some of my like, well, some of them, I guess I'm like, shoot. Yeah, I guess we're both, and I'm like, no, not both of us, just one of us. So no, I'm not. I don't think I'm actually gonna try. It's too scary, and I'm a scary dude. All right, here we go. That's why I had to get out of the gang. I got out of the gang. It's too scary. One of my jobs was I had to break my grandmother's legs. I just couldn't do it. She was like walking, I had the bat. And then she was all like, would you like a cookie? And then I like the bat, like, do you want to go play baseball, Grandma? Yeah, I couldn't do it. All right, none of that ever happened. All right, here we go. What is log 1,000 divided by log 10? Is it a 4? Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. 4. Yeah, some people just did the division, not in this room, but another thing, it is a 4. How can I write the 4? Check the time. It's old stuff, so I'm using up your brain power on old stuff. So for those who feel some of the brain being used, don't use that much. Yes. You are correct. Part B, which again, after introduce the new stuff and all these stories and all this talking, your brain will be like wiped out by the time I get to the new stuff. So again, not everybody. Okay, see how that feels? Some people are like, I hate this song. I have it. Hopefully shows it again. Yeah, so when you're teaching a class like this, again, it's always the thing of, should I go over it? And so you're like, come on, who doesn't know this? And that way, right? So like, I got it. Whereas in their head, they're like, oh, I have no idea. You put a log in front of that? Oh, shoot. All right, here we go. What's the last move? Anybody can answer now. Right, this is dividing by 10. And the dB, normally you don't put 2 letters to be one variable. But for the purposes of this, dB stands for decibels. How much you hear. We hear it decibels. So you multiply the 10 on that side and the 10 on this side. We usually say we cancel the 10s, but just so you'll have heard the real thing, technically we're not canceling them. Technically what's happening with the 10s is 10 divided by 10 is 1. And 1 times anything is that thing itself. So if ever you hear two say we're canceling, it really means we're making something equal 1. dB equals what, someone? I heard it. Hey, there's a lot of steps. For people who aren't that great at math, there's a million places to mess up, and I apologize for you. One other thing I should say, just in case you want to do another math class, and you have to do a problem like this where you have to solve an exponential function. That's what you're doing here. How do I know it's exponential? The variable is in the exponent. If ever you have to solve one of those, technically, you can't just put this 10 over 10. They probably will mark you wrong. Even though you got the logs over here, technically you have to write log. I'm going to erase it. I don't necessarily want you to write it. I just want you to have heard it. So if some other teacher thinks you're not that smart, you're like, no, I am that smart. Just taking a short. Technically, you're supposed to do the log of this here. The log is a ladder. It lets what's on the roof climb down in front. And then you divide log of both sides. I'm erasing that. I just need you to hear it one time. All right, that's problem number 2 of the review. Problem 3 of the review. This one, don't look at. We'll do this one first, and I'll give you a new sheet that looks like it. But don't look at it on your paper. Just try and answer. See what you remember. For those who aren't here, listen to what they're saying, and let's see what happens. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. I want you to go to page 15 so that when you're answering the questions, you're not looking at it. That's going to be bad. For now, let's just give you scratch paper. Yeah, I think this is the only one that we're doing. Is that guy there? So, yeah, so you can see what's there, whatever. But I'm about to hand another piece of paper that looks similar to this. Here we go. What do I want to do? When I'm reading this big paragraph, there are certain numbers that are going to be here. Let's try this. Hey, for my b to the x and b. What's a hint in a problem like this? Well, let me read it all out loud where there are percents and there's money. I'm going to ask you, what's the hint that tells me who the b is? Here it goes. Since 2005, decoy, the amount of money spent at restaurants in the United States or the U.S. has increased 7% each year. That's how much it's grown. Okay. In 2005, about 360 billion. I'm not because in this class someone actually wrote the whole billion out. You don't have to write out the whole billion. You can just write 360 was spent at restaurants. Here comes the question. What's the hint that might tell me who the B might be? Yeah, the percent is always going to be the growth rate. It doubled. It increased by 5%, 11%. So for the B on this case, and again, I only need the A and the B. Where are you? There you are. 7%. I'm going to write it that way first. I'm going to fix it. As a matter of fact, I should probably open it up some. Sure, I'll put it there for now, and I'll fix some stuff. Hey, what is the A going to be? 360. In this case, I'm just write the 360. And voila, there's the equation. There's only 2 pieces. You get 1 piece, the other piece is coming up waiting there for you. And what's also true is these 2005 decoys, I don't think they do a decoy on the test version. All right, I don't have that much time because they need to do one themselves. Here's the official thing with the percent. You can't use it in the problem. You have to turn it to a decimal. How do you turn the 7 to a decimal? Some people have a little trouble with this. I don't remember if it's this class or the other class. Here comes my 7%. To change a percent into a decimal, you cross out 1, 2. Cross out the percent sign. Find the decimal point, which is at n. 1, 2, unless you see it. There's decimal now. Set on the 0.07. Cross out 1, 2. Percent has to do something with the number 100. Whenever you hear percent, this means compare me to 100. So if they say Thomas percent, that's Thomas compared to the number 100. 7%, that's why this thing is really the number 100 kind of mixed around. You see the 1 and the 2 zeros. It has to do with 100. Can someone tell me what we have to put in front of that 7%? I mean, this 0.07. Say it again? Yeah. It's not a rule. There's a reason for it. I can explain it. But you can be like, okay, so do I just put the 1 or no? For this purposes, I will just have us put the 1. So this thing here is actually what goes indoors. Okay. Some people may have a parenthesis, or rather a question mark, in that area. 07. All right. So again, the initial amount is the A. That's how much you started out with. And then the growth factor is the percent, which we did a whole bunch of stuff on, turn into that 1.07. All right, let me see if I can draw the airplane. To draw the picture of this, airplane is taking off from here. Anybody remember what the name of this line was? I did a little dance party thing with it. Asymptote, for those working out, like, okay, and then, yeah, that's the whole thing. Oh, man, you missed it. All right, whatever. So we have the asymptote is the X line. From there, we have our A. A is where the arrow hits the wire set where it crashes to the wall. And that's kind of for those who weren't here. It should have been here. I'm looking out for them. You have to write the y-intercept as an ordered pair. Some people left it on your picture. If you did your thing back today and you left it on your picture and you didn't put it over here where they asked for it, move it over there for me, please. 0, comma, I'm sorry, what is the y-intercept on this one, please? I appreciate that, which has to be written as an ordered pair. Last part, in the interest of time, because you've got to get one of these yourself. Oh, shoot. The end behavior. What is the end behavior? The end behavior is what's happening on the right-hand side of the picture. What's happening on the left-hand side of the picture? Here it comes. When I don't know if somebody did this and I liked it a lot. They put positive infinity on that side and they put negative infinity over here. They put a positive infinity up here and they put a negative infinity down here. I'm like, I kind of like that because what wound up happening is when they drew their arrow, as x goes to blink, 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 y goes, that is, we're looking at the red arrow. As we go to the right-hand side of the red arrow, the graph itself, as x goes to infinity, end behavior is what we're writing right now. It's down here at the bottom, the end behavior down there. I'll write it. This is way too much in terms of review, but I'm going to do it because I got to give you one on the new sheet. So there we go. End behavior. As x goes to the right we call that positive infinity. This red arrow is also going up forever and ever to positive infinity. And then the blue from last time. As x, we start right here. X is going in this direction towards negative infinity. So the x part, the good news is the x part is always the same as the y that, oh no, scratch that, the y could change. As x goes back that way, the red is kind of trying to come down, but it can't pass that asymptote, because of course the official definition of asymptote, everybody knows the official definition of an asymptote.
That's a line that never touches the
I know, right direction, you have some of the right words in there.
It's close, but it never touches.
So the official way to say that is, what is it that's approaching a line that it will never touch? It's the graph. The asymptote is a line that the graph approaches, but it never touches. So that's what you have with asymptote. And so here, it's trying to get past this line here. That line happens to be 0. Again, if for those who are here, if all of this is like, dude, you just wrote a million things, but I followed it. That should feel like good stuff. Like, dang, that's smart. Yes, that's smart. Because smart is memory. Lack of memory is dumb. That's the difference that I say. You remember all the steps. You write them down on your test. I give you a 3 or 4. Hey, nailed it. You forget the steps. Don't remember where the 360 came from. You're like, you forgot it. Okay. You get a 1. And it's not fair. It's not with this kid. But it's just what you remember or not. So if ever someone tried to give you a hard time, and for those who weren't here last time, technically we're supposed to put our intercept. I should ask for intercept, which is at 0, 360.